However, Drug Information Officer Paul Dillon warns that tests may give users a false sense of security if they believe that a pill containing only ecstasy is safe.
One of our greatest problems with ecstasy use is that users are more and more believing that this is a harmless drug. It's benign. And I just don't think that's true. You know, anybody who works in the field, anybody who has dealings with nightclubs, clubs, has seen the negative effects of this drug. And in its worst consequences, of course, we've had death. People do die as a result of MDMA overdose. People do die as a result of ecstasy-related harm, overheating, dehydration. We need to accept that there is harm.
Hey, Lou. How's it looking?
It's going fine.
Yeah.
At the club home, Simon Page is very safety conscious.
Going very well. It's just right up to the normal kind of, high standard.
Beauty.
Numbers are great. Everything's going well.
Everyone's safe?
Everyone's safe.
No one's fallen over?
Everyone's happy.
In 1999, a man died at another venue run by Simon. The man, who had a congenital heart problem, is believed to have died after taking a cocktail of illicit drugs. Simon says the drug issue will not go away.
We really confront the whole use of drug issue head on. I went to the police and openly discussed it with landlord, council, police. And even though, with all due respect to the media likes to sensationalise things, I think most of society accept that the war on drugs is lost, that kids are going to experiment. Whether we think they should or whether we think they shouldn't is actually irrelevant. That a just say no approach is plain naive.
Home, like all dance clubs, must pass muster. Security is tight. Punters are searched on entry.
We built this room about 12 months ago and it's been a godsend. There's actually 32 cameras throughout the whole club and we can go to all the different areas.
The club has a state-of-the-art air conditioning system. Fresh drinking water is freely available. If security do find drugs, they will call the police, though it's not a responsibility Simon enjoys.
I think that people have this perception that there is this thing called a drug dealer. That's also very naive, because the drug dealer is probably your daughter or your son or your best friend's daughter or son, and it might be some young girl who's just turned 19, she's celebrating her birthday, she's out with 15 mates and she's bought one pill for each of them to have. We stop her at the front door, call the police, and suddenly her life is fundamentally changed because she's got a criminal record.
Even though I may take illicit substances, it doesn't mean that I'm a criminal. It doesn't mean that I'm going to go out and rob people of their money. I have a job. I work hard in my job. I make my money. I save for gold.
Well, if they're going to make assumptions about me just because I take drugs, then I don't really care what they think. I know what kind of person I am. I know I'm doing well in uni. I've got a good, steady job. So it's not really ruining my life, is it?
Drugs are not the only controversial thing about the dance culture. At one end of the spectrum, there is the underground dance scene and its relationship with radical politics. Imbued with politics, but with an emphasis more on art, is record-producing dance collective Edgecore Releases. Edgecore parties stress music, performance art and difference.
Mixed collection of people attracted to that scene. It kind of includes a lot of people that don't fit in a lot of other scenes, and I think that's really good. It's totally pro-diversity. I think the people are the stars for me at a dance party. You know, it's not really about a band being up on stage watching a good band or anything like that, or even, I think, good party is not about particular DJs. It's a vibe. The stars of the dance party are on the dance floor for me, and it's just a good feeling, you know.
So you want, like, I sort of... Yep, I things going up like that. We go to these parties because we want to, you know, expand our minds, and we want something a bit more interesting, and we want to be in a group of people that want to love each other.
Got rid of,
You know, we are all wanting that sort of connection with the rest of the world, but it just doesn't happen because the world is pretty hard, especially living in a city. It can get to you, and it's nice to go into a space and be able to be free and run around and be yourself and forget about all that sort of stuff.
Where Edgecore tend to focus on music and performance art, other groups in the dance culture take a strong environmental line.
What we're doing today is we're revegetating all the understory, which we want to grow in this area. 150 years ago, when the gold mining took place, the whole area was cleared, and so a lot of weeds have grown in that time.
Transplant are a green dance collective. They plant trees in the bush and then throw a party to celebrate. It's a non-profit organisation that works with local land care groups. Electronic techno sounds seem incongruous in such an organic setting, but it works for these bush regenerators.
One of the important things for me is that it's celebrating and finding a positive use for technology, and the music is an expression that is positive, and technology is very often seen as a very negative thing, especially from an environmentalist point of view, and it's just using that knowledge for good instead of evil.
Yeah, good, yeah, we're getting there. Got a few people setting up, a bit of the old installations, hanging things around the place, you know.
Other collectives are more vocal in wanting to change the ways of the world. Oms Not Bombs has legendary status in the underground dance scene. It was established in 1995 as a response against French nuclear testing. They were active in the recent S11 and M1 protests. They also campaign against uranium mining and for Aboriginal rights. Oms Not Bombs throw multimedia dance parties to get their message across. Tonight, Didge player Charlie McMahon is a special guest with techno group Organicy.
We believe that we're doing it wrong. The whole system is sort of out of control, and it can't really last much longer. So we think there needs to be a bit of a change all around the world in the way things are done in order to continue existing.
I think the people that go to parties do know a lot about what's wrong and what's right about the world, and they know a lot about uneven distribution of money, because a lot of us are at the wrong end of the stick as far as that goes.
Looks very easy. It is easy, but for some reason some people find it difficult. Is that it there? Yeah.
Letitia has just turned 17. Dance music and activist politics are her passions.
The politics has really only been a recent thing. A lot of the people that I got to know were going to these protests to talk about human rights, and that was all something that's always been in me, but I'd never really gone out and done any of it. And the first major protest I went to was S11 last year, and that was really, really full on, and I learnt a lot there.
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down!
Last year, Letitia was among the techno activists that came to the attention of the mainstream media. S11 anti-globalisation protesters tried to close down the World Economic Forum in Melbourne.